As it is 7 p.m., we'll officially call this meeting to order. If everyone's had an opportunity to review the minutes from last month's meeting and the claims for payment, I'll entertain a motion.
Second.
Motion and a double second. To approve, any further discussion? If not, all in favor signify by saying aye. Opposed, same sign. Neil, I think we kind of cut you out sometimes, so we don't always hear your yay, so I'm always going to be looking at you to see if you're in agreement or not. Okay.
All right, thank you.
All right, land use permits.
Dave Manderscheid knows where his property lines are. He's done his due diligence in the setback and planning, and he owns the property around it, so I see no conflict with this permit.
Thanks, Dave.
Thank you, Dave. All right. There's a motion to approve.
So.
Motion and a second to approve the land use permit for Dave Manderscheid. Any further discussion? None heard. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Opposed, same sign. Carried. Open forum. As we have no one here that would like to speak before the council, does the council have anything additional to add to the agenda at this time? If not, we'll move on to item number 2, hazardous building updates.
Okay, so 141 Fifth Street Southview, as you can see by the comments there, we're waiting for the electrical to get disconnected. I contacted them again today. This will be my 3rd time. Still waiting for a return. I don't know if they're just that busy or what, but Chris Fisher, their company gets busy at when beet harvest starts, so hoping to get it done before then, but if the power isn't off, we can't do it, so. That's where that one's at. 750 Ash. So we've gotten, we actually did get to serve. We had the county, whatever county that was in, Apple Valley, whichever county that's.
Dakota.
We did find the address where to find these people and they got them served. So they've had their 30 days and obviously nothing's been done. So the next thing would be to hire the attorney to file a motion in court. It's the process we've been following, so. Do you have a motion to do that?
I will so move. Okay.
I'll second.
Motion and second to move forward with contacting an attorney to file the court paperwork to enforce the order to re-roof the building. Any further discussion? If not, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Carried.
Okay, then 941 Birch, that's a really little house on that lot by Lloyd Schultz.
That place that we call the Kaiser place?
Yeah. What does it say, water to wine or something on the outside, but yeah, that one. So the next step with that one would be to, nothing has been done, of course, would be to adopt the resolution ordering the raising of the building, and then that would get served on the owners. Now that we know where to find them, it'll be easier.
So moved. Second.
Motion and second to adopt the resolution 9-22, ordering the raising of the hazardous building. Any further discussion? If not, all in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Opposed, same sign. Carried. Moving on to item number 3, Public Works report. Dave, any highlights you'd like to bring to our attention?
We got the MnDOT snowplow home. I was really appreciative of MnDOT working with us. I felt like when I drove home, I robbed the bank. We got a really good truck for the money.
Fast.
It is out of PT Max right now. We'll have to put new batteries in it, and get some wear plates, shoes for them, you call them, or whatever. So we'll be spending a little bit of money on repairs to get ready and have an extra set on hand for when we wear them out. Get up to date with our other stuff. We've had a lot of problem with storm catch basins because of all the sticks and from the recent windstorms, and now the grass and the leaves just making a bigger issue. So Dusty and I have been doing our due diligence with the rain to get them cleaned up. So, cemetery, we put a lot of time in. It was being, in my opinion, being neglected, and we just decided we're not gonna stand for that, and we're gonna go after it. It's looking good, and people have noticed and commented, so very happy about that. Treatment ponds are okay, and whether I discharge at all will depend upon what happens with Clutter for the next 30 days. We do an influence sample tomorrow, quarterly. So I am getting worried about the burn site with all the compost out there. The only place that I know that I can take it is Glencoe. They have been out to look at it. They will take it. And get that all hauled out. I've just been dragging my feet because of fuel price here. And continue to drag it until it stabilizes a little bit. Because, we just can't afford to be spending $3,000-4,000 to haul it to Glencoe to give it away. And I was also looking at possible haul back of some gravel or something too, instead of bouncing empty.
Does it have to be dumped in a certain spot or it's just fill now?
Well, what we used to do with it is the ash and we use the ash is another problem, but that's not as big a problem as what my compost is right now, because it's getting out of hand with the leaves that are coming. And we tried putting it in a spreader and putting it out in our land, but that got a big pushback from the farmer because people are used to throwing their rocks and their slabs and everything else goes through the spreader. So now I've got a screener out there for the ash, compliments of my brother. He had a rock screener there, and we were able to apply a little ash on our city property. The CRC did for us, so that was nice, and we're looking for other people to take that as well.
Did you know the county we have an alternate landfill where we just dump stuff like that?
We can.
If you make a call tomorrow and ask if you can, that's just south of
Who
Olympia.
should I talk to, Renee?
Yeah, Jeff Marlowe, whatever, yeah.
Is it for the ash or for the compost?
It's just fill.
So either one of those things.
Clay we don't need, dirt we don't need,
Okay.
stuff, anything.
I know, right? All of the ambulance is new land. We need a large amount of fill for free, preferably. Yeah, like over 1,000 yards of it,
Clay or dirt or.
whatever would be appropriate for fill.
The compost will be.
No, the compost wouldn't, but if there's clay piles out there they want to get rid of.
Well, like I said, you can talk to Public Works or managers. We have a lot of them.
Thanks, Bill.
All right, sorry we kind of interrupted your spiel. Was that the end of that?
I'm fine. None?
All right, any questions for Dave? Anything additional? Sorry, all I see is Neil's big hand.
I was trying to, I'm trying to pull up on my iPad, but I can't get it up. The article or the email back and forth, Deb, that you had sent to Dave,
Yep.
and is that can we talk about some of those things just to try to get a little clarity on some of them?
Sure.
I'm sorry, my iPad, I can't access my server, so I can't access the email, but, there were just a couple of things I think that looked like to me that we needed just a little clarity. Maybe you sent something to Dave and Dave replied, and I didn't know if everything was finalized on some of that, or there was still something
I
open.
don't know, I'm waiting to hear back yet, so. I don't know.
Well,
You remember which one in particular you want? I can read it here. I have it in front of me.
yeah, it was that email, I think that, right, the email went from Deb to Dave, Dave replied, and then I think maybe Deb replied back. but
Yep.
Is it, and I'm not trying to, I didn't know if this would be a good spot to talk about and get some clarity on it, or if you and Dave are working on it, then we can move on. I didn't know.
It's to me, it's up to you.
I do have a question on the exercise, the valves, the valve exercising. is that something that's preferable to have in policy or protocol, that it's routinely done? Or is it always just on demand? Yes, no?
Well, originally we bought the valve exerciser equipment to stop us, help us stop us from getting hurt when we're turning these valves and stuff. So we got an OSHA grant on it. And what the nice thing about having an exercise machine is you're able to do more valves, and the more you exercise them, the longer they're gonna last. The old mains that we have in town, the old 4-inch, no, we won't be turning those valves because we're more apt to break them than what we are to be doing any good for them. But everything that we put in new in the 2006 project and even the 1990 project, we want to be exercising those. So it's a good preventative maintenance tool that we have not got in the habit of using it just because it's manpower intensive. And we also, usually when you get that machine out, you always have problems with the valves, with the mud and the dirt, and we don't have a vacuum machine. And the year after we got that valve exercising machine, it gave down proposal to get a trailer vacuum unit from Blue Kiss, the hydrovac place. They were making these for the exercise machine. I had a friend that worked there and alerted me to that, and the solution that we came up with, instead of getting that at the time, if I remember right, is that we'd have to rent O&S's back when we go out. That's the biggest problem to using the exerciser in a down the road fashion is plug dirt and debris. We also use the fire truck to blow water in there and clean them out. That, is just a temporary solution to get on there to do it. So the right maintenance procedure to have a back truck with valve exerciser when we're doing it. So when it goes back to manpower, you've got a person on the valve exerciser machine, you got a person pulling the vac trailer when we need it, and you need somebody to watch traffic. So it's just, all these valves are right in the middle of the intersection both ways, and it's tough.
So the fact that it was purchased with a grant, do we need to show at some point that it's being regularly used? Or
It's also policy that we do it too.
it is already in policy?
Do we have a written policy?
I thought that was a part of our,
Because I'm-
2006, I thought it was in there, because we had put it in policy, is what I thought. I could
We've
be
got
wrong.
we've got a sanitary sewer flushing policy, that's the only thing that I'm aware of.
But you don't, to answer your question, you don't have to have a policy. And actually, if you do have a policy that says you're doing X amount every year, or whatever it is, and you don't follow it,
Sure.
then you'll be in trouble.
I just didn't know, if part of the grant application, if
No.
we promised
Oh,
to
no.
follow through with certain.
I didn't look back on that.
That's how we did, because we talked
Maybe
about
you're
it
right.
through.
It's been a long time. I don't.
My only concern is if all of a sudden we have to do it in an emergency, we should be cleaning them out then. Because the valves are there for a reason, right? And if we're cleaning them out and doing that, if hospitals don't have a vac truck for us to borrow, then we maybe need to look at that. But I think the whole point is if you're not able to clean them out or turn them, Dave, on a routine basis, what happens in an emergency when you have to close them? That would be concerning.
I feel
That
bad
would be
about
concerning
not
to me.
being able to get through and use this machine like we designed it for, but gotten it for. But it's just a matter of manpower and what it takes and all the other things that we're obligated to do.
So what's the solution?
I think that you want to talk and pound this out and talk about extra help and talk about time of season and deadlines to get it done to make it happen.
Well, do we need a vac truck or what? What, do we need a vac truck or do we need to rent something or?
Ideally, if we had them all clean, we wouldn't need the vac trailer anymore, but people get good money for renting vac trailers. I think the one that, I don't know, I have not looked for another vac trailer since you linked the other one, so but if that's something you want to entertain, I certainly could.
Well, could we have somebody come in and just vacuum them all
I was just gonna ask that same thing, if we're short of help, Dave, buying another piece of equipment, is gonna help us on the labor side, right?
That'd be a smart idea, I guess, if we just hire somebody to go ahead of, that'd be helping on the manpower side. I like that idea.
Either that or have Osterfelds do it when they are down, you know, or, you know, at the beginning of the year or something, so they can't do that and go on and jack them all out.
The beginning of the year is bad because there's always so much groundwater. Now is the perfect time to go after them because the mowing is starting to slow down now too, you know, so now
Yep.
could be something that we could organize.
I mean, either that or if Hector isn't using theirs, or Olivia's not using theirs, then we could rent theirs and go and get them all done in a day or two, back them all out and come back and start exercising them. I think there's some other options there, we're having to buy a trailer to use everything, couple years.
You know, again, that involves something that we're spending money on, and Deb and I will have to work together to figure out a plan.
What's funny is I don't ever remember us trading down a vac trailer or a vac truck, I don't remember that even conversation coming up, so that's interesting. So, but I think that we need to, I do think that the purpose of us exercising the valves is so that we don't have a problem in an emergency or, you know, for routine maintenance. And the time to figure it out that it's bad is not when we need to do it, so I think we need to get on that.
I'm not, Dave, how many belts do we have? I don't have a clue.
300 and
We have
some.
200 belts or 400?
Double
belts?
that.
It's almost 400, I think, isn't it? Yeah.
Okay, I didn't have a clue.
I think you could go back. I mean, even the ones that are foreign that you don't wanna do, Dave, should be cleaned out, because in case you have to do them, correct?
Be good maintenance schedule, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you and Deb will figure it out. I was just wondering if we could help in any way, try to help get to the bottom of some of that. So if maybe a suggestion I have is if we could hire, or at least get a price from ONS and say what's it gonna take to clean our valves. Maybe we haven't done it, then it's a lot easier with you and Dusty to get the exerciser out there and get it done.
Good
Just an
plan.
idea.
That's a good plan. I'll get a quote from ONS and see what their
The
timetable is.
timeframe is.
That sound good,
So
Deb?
thank you.
Right. Yeah, wasn't sure what input I needed for that, but
What about, like the crosswalks? Did those get done, Dave? Painted crosswalks?
We have not painted anything yet, no. My intent is to do the crosswalks. The curbs look very good, probably with the only exception being, blue handicap in front of the post office is a little beat up.
Is that something we can have part-time staff do?
But Dusty and I can do it.
Oh.
It's not a problem. We did it last year. The paint is the issue. You couldn't buy a white paint for the last 6 months in Minnesota. So I don't want to be using it just to use it. So,
Okay. Anything else from the email list? Council would like to address? If not,
I have a dumb question, Dave, about that. I think you started with that truck that we bought. Was it for 10,000? How much did we think we were budgeting up toward 30 or 40 or?
40, you gave me, yeah. And I do believe we got a 30,000 plus truck here. I do.
Good for you. Nice. Nice work. Good.
anything else, Dave?
I'm good.
Anything further for Dave? Okay. Moving on to item number 4, resolution 10-22. The proposed 2023 budget and levy.
okay, so I did do a few minor changes because there was, our health insurance actually came in less than what I put in the budget. So I did kind of make some, like, up some gas and, yeah, some gas and insurance throughout. I raised those a little bit, so that kind of was a break even. And then I did add 10,000 because I hadn't put anything in for Christmas decorations yet. Dawn has been to, has gotten quote, just a real preliminary quote from Mike Schweiss on those birds. So, yeah, and I think it was 200 each, and it was like up 8,600, I think would be the total preliminary.
And the
For every
mock-ups,
light pole,
I was gonna say, the mock-ups he had done, there was a large size and a small size.
Yep.
I'm assuming it was for the large
Yep.
poles and the small
all
poles.
of them, yes.
Okay.
Yep. So I added that 10,000 in
Yeah.
there, so.
Yeah, I liked them. Very nice.
So we're at 2.5% increase.
Yes.
I'll second.
Second, Neil.
There's a motion and a second to approve resolution 10-22, adopting proposed 2023 budget and payable 2023 levy with an increase of 2.5%. Any further discussion? If not, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Carried.
Good job, Des.
Nice. Item number 5, approve the hiring of Tracy All as the new city administrator treasurer with full-time status.
I did speak with Tracy. We hadn't really talked about a wage to start her on. However, with what we put in the budget, will be more than adequate to pay an hourly fee. And we haven't really come up with an exact date yet, just because of daycare and some other issues she has to work out. But when we had our meeting, after the interviews, we talked about whoever we hired, we didn't want that to be a detriment. We wanted to pick the best person we thought for the job. So, and I don't think there'll be any problem with us trying to work out an hourly type of schedule till she's able to go full-time. It won't be any later than the first of the year. So it might be before, but.
And then you
Is
have money,
wages public knowledge or it's?
Anybody can call and ask what any of us get paid,
Okay.
absolutely.
and did you put enough, you didn't have enough budget for you to stay on until February, you said too?
Yes, yes. Yep.
Through the
For the-
season stuff?
yeah.
I'll make the motion to approve.
I'll second.
Motion and a second to approve the hiring of Tracy All as the new city administrator treasurer. Any further discussion? Yeah,
Jeff, I didn't hear your comment to Deb. It was something about some extra money.
We just made sure that we had enough money in the budget for her to stay on until February 1st on an hourly basis or
Can I
whatever.
ask a question? What about consulting after that, if that comes? What do we need anything in the budget for that?
I'm not gonna, I'll help out, it's not that big of a deal. I'll be
Well-
available.
I think that you should get it. I think there should be an agreement made that you should get paid something for doing that. I really do.
Well, I did put that in the budget. So, and you just approved the budget.
Yep.
I haven't voted yet.
On the budget we did, Neil.
We actually will probably have some left over. We won't use it all up this year, so I don't think that's gonna be a big issue. We'll work something out.
We appreciate your offer to assist, and I think we don't want to take advantage of that.
I
also.
agree.
The last thing I want is for this, I want the person who follows me to be able to succeed, and I'm not gonna put that person in a position to fail. I will not do that.
We know that.
Okay.
We know that. Absolutely do.
Yeah.
all right. Any further questions, comments? If not, all in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed, same sign. Carried. Welcome to Tracy Hall. Resolution 11-22, approving the election
I think
judges.
it's right. You say can't be honest.
I know, the reason she put that, we found out, after you guys approved the election judges before, we needed it in resolution form nowadays, I guess.
Prior.
So that, because she served in the primary, we have to include her on there,
Okay,
yeah. So that's why we're doing this, it's in resolution.
Motion to approve.
There's a motion to approve. Is there a second?
I'll second.
And a second. Any further discussion? None heard. All in favor signify by saying aye.
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 And opposed, same sign. Carried, with one abstaining. Agenda item number 7. Appoint the new city administrator to the vacant position on the EDA board. per recommendation from the E EDA.
So yeah, for the EDA board has talked about this before, this isn't the first time that I'm the administrator now, but whoever would have that position would would be the seventh member of the EDA board. Just makes it more convenient, that person really kind of knows what's going on, plus they're generally around, so there's not a lot of.
So moved.
Second,
Motion and second to approve the recommendation from the EDA to appoint the new city administrator to the vacant position on the EDA board. Any further discussion? None heard, all in favor signify by saying aye. Aye.
I,
Opposed? Carried. Can that really be the end of the agenda? Is this a new record?
Truly.
What are you
2 weeks in a row.
saying? That's crazy fast.
We'll bring Polly Setafon back and we'll show you how it's done the right way.
Are we adjourned?
I think we are.
Okay,
If you say so.
if there's
Okay.
nothing further for this council to discuss, this meeting is officially adjourned.
thank you, everybody.
Thank you,
I
Neil.
wonder if Paul Setsma was.
I don't care. He knows it went on until.
Yeah.
Missy Long when he was.
Oh my gosh, midnight.
I could tell him, yeah, I mean, we used
It must
to,
have been long.
they used to have me read the minutes way back, well, when your dad was mayor. We used to, oh, and, yeah, it's not going. We